Hello, beautiful children of China. It's your teacher, Timothy. Get the cobwebs out of your mind. It's time to learn something new. Just me and you. So today we're going to talk a little bit about play. We're going to talk about how people play together, especially children, because children have always played together. And we talked about that in an earlier lesson, didn't we? There were words that we talked about, like cooperate. The word cooperate, when two people agree to play together or to do a job together, and they agree to work together, they cooperate together, right? Do you remember that word? And have you cooperated with anyone just lately? I have. I had to cooperate with someone here at work in order to get into the building, to give them my security code and they give me theirs, and we work together. And I make sure that I lock up well at the end of the day and vice versa. So cooperate, that's an old word from last time. Another one is relationship. A relationship, do you remember what that is? A relationship is when two people know each other. Sometimes it's a good relationship and they have fun together. And sometimes it's a hard relationship where it's difficult and they need to talk about things. But either way, it's a relationship. Sometimes it's a distant relationship. Oh, we've only met once. And sometimes you see this person every day, like your mother or your father. Those are close relationships. Relationship. Can you name a relationship that I didn't talk about? Yeah, a relationship with your dog or your cat. A relationship with a spider that pops out in the backyard and surprises you, and you know where they live. A relationship with your neighbor or someone at school. Yes, relationship. And there are three new words today I want to talk about. There's the word chore. Let me just write this, okay? All right. Chore. There's one word. And the next word we'll type in just a little while. A chore. Do you know what a chore is? Have you heard that word before? A chore is a small job. It's just a small little task that each of us have every day that you have to do. Sometimes it's every day and sometimes it's just one time, but it's a small task that you have to do. For example, there's a girl named Jenny, and her chore is to go and collect the chicken eggs every day because they have a few chickens at their house. That's her chore, her little task, right? Do you have any chores at your house? Oh, yeah, to keep your room clean. That's a chore. Clean your room. Yeah, chore. Another word we're going to talk about today is collect. Can you say it? Collect. To collect something is to gather things together. A collection. I'm just got to do one quick thing here. A collection of things. For example, a boy named Jim collects seashells. When he goes to the beach, he collects them and he has a whole collection of 20 or 30 beautiful seashells to collect. Let me write that word, collect. Yeah. Do you collect anything in your room? Where do you have it? Do you have a little bag or something or a box you put things in? When I was a boy, I collected pop cans of soda pop, and there were all kinds. And then if I kept looking, there were even old ones. And sometimes I'd go to the garbage dump and look to see if I could find very strange or rare ones. Pop cans. That's what I collected. Now there's one more word we're going to talk about today, the word deliver. Deliver means to bring something, to deliver something to a person that it belongs to. If I have my father's car and I need to bring it back to him, I will drive it out there. I will deliver his car to him and I'll leave it at his house. And then I'll take a bus back home to bring something to someone that they own, something they own. For example, a mail carrier, someone that brings the mail to your house, they deliver the mail every day. There you go. There's the mail. Have you ever seen anyone deliver anything to your house? Let me write the word. Deliver. To deliver something to your house. We always get the mail every day at our house, but we also sometimes, if we're lucky, I have a book that I want really bad, and I think it's going to be delivered today. Okay, I hope so. When I get home, I hope there's a book there. Do you have anything that you've ever had delivered to your house? Yeah. So those are the words for today, and we'll listen for them as we talk about these pictures here. So let's say these words. Here's chore. Can you say this one right here? Collect. Good. And the last one, deliver. Deliver. Chore, collect, deliver. We're going to talk about playing today. And we're going to talk about some old ways of playing. It's pretty interesting to talk about playing because kids have always been playing, and kids often invent new ways to play. And then sometimes when they get older, they tell the kids that are younger than them. And this is the way that kids remember how to do certain things. In this first picture, let's look at this guy here. There's a man, isn't there? And the man has his hand like this, doesn't he? Look, he has a hand like this. That's how you hold marbles. Do you see down here? Look at all these marbles right here. These marbles, they're all made of glass. And they're beautiful, aren't they? When I see marbles, I always want to buy them. I want to get them. I want to trade for them. I collected marbles too when I was a boy. They're irresistible. They're beautiful and they're hard. When they hit together, they make the best sound. Like that. They make a great sound. So these people are playing marbles. See these boys right here? Let's see. This boy right here. This boy. He could not play marbles until he had done his chores. And this boy, he doesn't look very happy. Maybe he hasn't even done his chores, so he can't play yet. Like clean his room or mow the lawn. These guys are too young to mow the lawn, but maybe they have to pick up some sticks in the yard for their chore. I don't know. But first you do your chores, then you can play the fun game of marbles. This man is showing them how. So we're going to go down here and we're going to look. There are a few marbles out here. I see the marbles. Do you see them? I see them right here. They're shooting the marbles. It's a kind where they shoot and they try to knock them and they make a circle on the dirt. It's an old game. This game has been, the first marbles were from 100 years ago or something like that, even more. Yes. 100 years ago, I'm just checking my notes, more than 100 years ago, marbles have been made. I'll bet you even longer than that. And they've been learned, there have been many times where they have different games. Sometimes kids invent games of marbles, things that they like to play. So these children might collect marbles. There's that word collect, ding. And there's the word chore. You can't play marbles until you've done your chores, your job at the house. Right? So let's go past these beautiful marbles here. Whoa, those are amazing. Amazing. Here comes a new picture. Look at this old picture. Oh, look at those kids. Oh, now. One thing that kids have always liked to do with each other, one of the things that they like to do is to, I'm going to try and make these, I'm going to see if I can make these. Oh, let's rewrite these. Let me just see if I can get let's make these white so that we can really see. Can you tell me how to spell those words again? Chore, C-H-O-R-E. What's the next one? Oh yeah, collect, C-O-L-L-E-C-T, collect. And finally, the last one, deliver. Please spell it, D-E-L-I-V-E-R, deliver. That's right. Now this one, I think we can move this one and get rid of that. And now we can move this one so we can see it a little better. There they are. There are those words. They look good. Chore, collect, and deliver. Now here in this picture, one of the great things that kids love to do, and I bet you love to do it too, I did when I was a kid, I still do it a little bit, is to race against each other. Maybe they run. It's part of having a fun relationship, is that you can relate. And if you cooperate with each other, you can say, okay, get ready. We're gonna race on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And they cooperate with when to start and where to. We're gonna go all the way up to the end of the fence. And they make rules together and they agree to those rules. That's cooperating. These kids, they like to race against each other, but not running. Look at this. They are racing something. Look at this wooden go-kart. It's called a go-kart. It's actually called a soapbox derby car. And soapbox derby is a car that's handmade. It's homemade. These kids, well, first of all, what's this boy doing? We need to talk about this right here. What's this boy doing? This boy right here, da, 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 da. He's picking his nose. That's not such a good thing. That's not socially acceptable. Anyway, we'll let him pick his nose. This boy over here is ready to help. He's got a hammer in his hand. Do you see his hammer? There it is. Yep. And this girl right here is watching. She's probably saying things like, hey, maybe you should do this. Maybe you should do that. It will go faster. And it goes right into this boy's ear right there. And he's listening. Yep. That's what they do. Those kids are talking because they built that. And look at those wheels that they put on there. They cooperated with each other after their chores were done. And they built this soapbox derby car. Now, a soapbox derby car, the soapbox, it's called a box because a lot of the time the kids would take a box and they would put it right here. They would put it right here where you sit your butt down, and they sit on a box called a soapbox derby. And they just made these race cars and they would race them. The cool thing about these cars is they cannot have a motor. No motor. Nothing like, no motor. They have to go down a hill. Just going down the hill using gravity and see who makes the fastest car. So they race each other that way. Soapbox derby. It's cool. I had a soapbox derby car when I was a boy. So if you're going to build a soapbox derby car, you would have to collect, there's our word, the wheels and the wood and a hammer and some nails. And then you could build the soapbox derby car. This boy has collected wheels, this girl and this boy. These 3 have cooperated and they built this together and they have quite a good car. I wonder if they'll win the race. I wonder how they'll do. Soapbox derby, one of the fun things of all time in the United States anyway. I wonder if you do it in China. Do you? Well, maybe there was a day where that boy sent in the mail or on the internet, sent for those wheels. They're very fast wheels. And those wheels were delivered to his house. Maybe the mail carrier brought the wheels to his house in a box. Here, they come. And the boy went, yes, they're here. My wheels. I can finally make my soapbox derby. Maybe that's what happened. Let's leave these three. Look at this boy is so happy. This guy, look at his face. Look at this guy's face. I can tell, even though he's not really smiling, he is happy. He's thinking about this car. He's happy about the car. This boy right here is not thinking about the camera. He's not looking at the camera. He's just thinking about these wheels and what's underneath there and how he can make them go faster. And like I said, this girl, she's talking quite a bit. Uh-oh. So we'll go down to the next one. Goodbye, soapbox derby. I hope you have a good race. I hope it's really fast. Goodbye. What's happening here? Oh my goodness. I love this. Now these girls, 5 girls, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 girls have decided to cooperate with each other and jump rope. Jumping rope has it probably started people that study these things in Egypt. They found that the kids jumped ropes 1,000 years ago, but they weren't ropes, they were vines. Ropes basically are like vines that are on trees. They took the perfect vines and they would swing them around and the kids would jump in Egypt. And then this spread around the world. And when it was time that the people of Holland, the Dutch people, some of those people brought jumping rope, they think, to America where we live. And we, in our school, we jump rope all the time. I bet you do too, right? You might collect jump rope rhymes. Do you know what jump rope rhymes are? Now, those jump rope rhymes, you might collect them on paper and keep them in a box to remember them, but you can also collect them in your head. Jump rope rhymes have a good rhythm. So the jump goes around and around and around. And as it comes around, you say the jump rope rhyme. I have some jump rope rhymes. Do you want to hear one? Here it goes. You can try this one. This is like you always say the name of the person that's going to get in and the one that's leaving. Ready? I like coffee. I like tea. I like Sharon in with me. I don't like coffee. I don't like tea. I don't like Jimmy in with me. So one jumps out. Jimmy has to get out when they say, I don't want him there. Sharon has to come in. And then, so there are always 2 that are jumping. And then one's leaving and one's coming in. Or you could have more jumping, but one comes in and one goes out. Like they could be doing this one here. These jumpers of rope, these 3. What a fun game to play. And this is a very, very old game. And jump rope rhymes, kids remember them and they're very, very old. They might be collecting jump rope rhymes. Maybe you send for the best jump rope in the world and it is delivered to your house. Or maybe you can't go jumping with your friends out in the street until your chores are done, right? So jump rope rhymes are the best. One of my favorite things ever. Everyone has to jump rope every day. Do you hear me? If you're going to school at home or if you're going to school at your school, bring a jump rope and jump every day. It's good for your body. It's good for your brain and it's super fun. I'm a teacher. I know. And I love jump ropes. And I jumped rope when I was a kid. Look at these kids. They just dropped their bags over here. They just said, put these bags down because we just are going to jump. There's one bag. Oh, here's a bag and a jacket. Here's a bag over here. Those things are just put them down and we are going to just jump. We're going to just jump. Yep. Yep, yep, yep. Jump rope is fun. Let's keep going. What other games do we have here? Oh boy, now this is interesting. These are the 2 oldest toys and games in the whole world. Can you see what this girl has here? Can you see it? I can see it. I love dolls. I love dolls. This girl is a Native American girl, and it's a picture that's over 100 years old. And she has a doll. But we know that dolls have been made probably since the beginning of time. Some little boy found, or some little girl found a stick or a stone and wrapped it up in cloth and had it as a little baby. Or maybe a mom or a dad was very smart and they found a stick and then they made it look, and they put a little piece of clay on the top for a head, and they made a little doll for their children. Dolls have been around for thousands and thousands of years. Do you have a doll? Sometimes dolls can talk. Children can sit there and they can hold a doll, and it's like the children can hear what they're saying. Dolls can talk. Sometimes grown-ups can't hear it, but dolls can talk. You know that, right? And this girl knows that. In fact, right now, in this picture, this doll is probably talking to this girl right there. Look, right up into her ear. That doll is probably saying something like, "Oh, I like when you hold me like that. Your hands are very gentle. Thank you." Something like that. This girl has a doll, and boys and girls have had dolls since the beginning of time. My children, both boys and girls, had dolls. I made a doll for my son, and I made a doll for my daughter. I made it so their eyes were the same color as and their lips were the same color, and their skin was the same color. This Native American girl has her doll. And a lot of people collect dolls. They collect, there's that word, collect dolls. Maybe you have one, maybe you have two, maybe you have 10 dolls if you collect them. Mm-hmm. And another very old game is this one right here. Do you know, what's the word for that? I don't know the Chinese word for it. Can I hear? I wish I could hear you right now really loud and clear so I could learn the Chinese word. In English, it's a kite. 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 Let me show you. A kite. There, that's what that is, a kite. And over here, this is a doll. Right? This is a doll down here. This is a kite. Some people collect kites. Maybe they have 5 kites. Some people send for them in the mail or on the internet, and the kite is delivered to their house. Some people have to do the chores before they go out and play with their kite, right? But let's talk a little bit more about these boys, and let's talk a little bit more about kites. These boys are really running and they're having fun. This boy is so happy over here. Yeah, they're having fun. So kites are also a very old toy. Probably first kites were in China where you live, and they were made out of paper or silk. And a lot of the time people made them for the Chinese New Year, and there was a big celebration. And they would go running and flying way up there. Have you ever felt that feeling of the string and then it's in your hands and it feels so good because you can feel the wind. You can really feel the wind up there when you're flying a kite. Maybe you sent for a kite and it was delivered to your house. I said that. Maybe you collect them. Maybe you have to do your chores first before going out. Yeah. But kites are great. One of the great toys. I hope that you get to fly a kite soon. In the spring, now is a windy time. It's a good time to fly a kite. I'll tell you that. It is a good time. So let's talk about what we have covered. We talked about these words: chore, collect, and deliver. We also talked about the words cooperate, and we talked about the words relationship. But these boys are flying the kites. They have a good relationship. These three boys, maybe they're brothers. Maybe that's their relationship. They look like they're having fun together. Maybe they're friends. They're cooperating. They're all running side by side. This one holds it. How about this girl here? One of the oldest toys ever, one of the oldest games. Can you remember what that is? A doll. That's right. Let's go up here. Oh boy, here we are with jumping rope. Look at this right here. Do you see this right here? There's a little knot in the rope. They must have broken the rope, or they weren't long enough and they made two together. They tied a knot and now they can jump just fine. Look at these girls. They're all in the air together and it's fun. They are cooperating for sure. These two right here, this one, this girl, see it's in her hand, and this girl, see it's in her hand. They are cooperating. They have to swing their arms at the same time. And these three, they have to cooperate with each other and jump at the same time. And all five of them have to all cooperate together to do the fun game of jumping rope. One of my favorite things. And here they are, the three kids that are building, what's it called? A soapbox derby car. That's right, for racing down a hill. Yep. That's another game, another way that kids play together, an old way. And it still happens here in the United States. There are still soapbox derby races. I always wanted to do it. I had my soapbox derby, but I didn't ever race. And here, some people have collected marbles. Look at all these marbles, the colorful ones. They would collect marbles. And up here, they're playing. They're cooperating, and they're playing a game. I bet you this man is teaching them how to play marbles. Maybe this woman is also teaching over here. Here's a mama, though. This mama is saying, this woman over here, she is saying, my little boy, just watch, don't play. That's what she says. Don't play right now, just watch. But he does not look too happy about that. He wants to play. He wants to get right in there. See, she's got his hand. She's holding it because I bet he would dive in there if he could. I'll bet you anything. So they collect marbles, or maybe they're delivered to their house after they do their chores, of course. So let's end our lesson now. It's a really good one about games, old games. I love these old games. And we've talked about the word chore. Remember, you got to do your chores every day or maybe once a week. It depends on what your parents say, but do your chores. Maybe you have some chores for yourself. Also, collect. What do you collect? Also, deliver. Has anything been delivered to your house recently? Are you going to deliver anything to a friend to bring them their belongings, something that they own? So we're going to say goodbye now. Thanks for such a good lesson. And I will just simply say this. Goodbye, my friends. This is Timothy signing off. Thank you for a good lesson. Now I'm happier. You're smarter, and the whole world is a little bit smaller.